Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for doing this program. Thank you for supporting the channel. We're getting quite a lot of feedback about this program, and I hope that you've learned something from it, and I hope that you are progressing in your shooting and that you will look back one day and be glad that you did this program. This week is all about the restoration phase, and that entails restoring your confidence. And that's what we're going to do this week. Okay, so the most important thing that you need to do this week is to focus on what you need to do in your shooting. And that entails your shooting process. And also to follow the right steps if you run into problems this week. But the most important thing is to forget about what you used to do and concentrate on what you have to do to shoot a good shot. Remember what I told you a few weeks back about what your mind sees is what it does. If you remember the pink elephant story, you immediately think, if I tell you, do not think about pink elephants, that's what you think about immediately. And it's the same thing with archery. If I tell you, do not mess this up, unfortunately, that's what you're going to see in your mind. So you need to focus on what you need to do. It's very important to understand that. All right, guys, so this week we're going to do a drill of going back to shooting on your normal distances. So I would say shooting on a distance that you feel comfortable on, but it's not too far, but it's a little further than 20. Say an average distance of, say, about 40 yards. I'll do it on 40 yards if I were you. If it's too far for you, go to 25 or 30 or whatever. But yeah, don't try and go over 40. For most people, 40 is kind of a medium range. So the drill this week is pretty simple. You're going to shoot at a medium distance. If you can shoot outdoors and you can get about, say, 40 yards, if you're at that level, then we're going to shoot around that point. It has to be challenging, but not very, not impossible almost. It's not going to be a shot way out there. It's going to be a medium shot where you still can be in control and that you can keep your finger on where you're at with your shooting. So if you can't shoot 40 yards, if you can't get 40 yards out, or you're not at that level, you can just make your target a little bit smaller. You can shoot on 20 or 25. And the most important thing here is to just keep tabs on where we at the program and how you like coping with your anxiety and your target panic. So if there's any red flag coming up, then you're going to move closer, or you're going to make the target bigger. By red flag, I mean you're getting anxiety or you're doing silly things. And I'm going to ask you this week, please, if you feel that, don't shoot the shot, right? That's the most important thing. Don't reinforce that. This is the restoration phase. We're going into our direction of moving forward in our shooting. We don't want to go backwards. Even if it means like you're going to go, you're making the target bigger or you're moving closer, that's not going backwards. You just maybe moved a little bit fast and your brain hasn't really caught up, but you need to be very aware of where you're at the program and what we're looking for. Where should you be about? What should you feel? Well, at this stage, you should be a lot more in control. You should feel that the anxiety might not be completely over, but it's not going to be overwhelming, and you're going to be able to stay in control. So that's where you should be about with your anxiety level and your anticipation level. If you still feel that, maybe, do the foundation phase a little bit longer, if you don't mind. If you feel overwhelmed and it's too much, then you might need to go back a little bit and do that for a few days more, like say 2 or 3 days, and then try this phase. That's where you should be about with this. You should be in control. Okay, this is step 1. Okay, so I've got my bow. I've got to target out to 40 yards. I just need to set my sights on 40. So this is the most important thing now, is I'm going to draw my bow up. I'm going to reach the click, or for you, if you're shooting a thumb, you're going to put your finger on the barrel when you're in the middle. Or if you're shooting an index finger, you're going to put your index finger on the trigger. If you're shooting a resistance release, you're going to take your finger off the barrel when you're inside the target. And you're going to feel how you feel, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And I haven't changed anything on my bow. I've got the same draw weight. I've got the same magnification. I haven't changed anything. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my bow. Okay, I'm in the middle. I'm going to click my release. Okay, then you lay down. If you feel any anxiety or you're feeling that you are not in control, you might want to turn your poundage down to make it easier to hold in the back. You can make your let off more if you want, if that's easier for you. And you can take the magnification out of your sight if you shoot one, out of your scope. That will slow the movement down. And magnification doesn't help for when you have anxiety. It actually makes it worse because you see more movement. And try that then, and then you do the same thing. Draw your bow up again, put it in the middle. If it's better and you don't feel any, you feel like you're in control, then we can go to the next step. If you were not comfortable, even after the changes you made, you might want to move closer to 30 yards, or you're going to make the target bigger. That's your choice. And then repeat the process until you feel that you have no anxiety, or that you can stay in control. And then you stick to that distance or that setup for a while. So step 2, right? So I don't feel any anxiety. You saw I was pretty calm when my click went. I didn't do anything silly. So if you're the same and you feel no anxiety, you're going to go over to the next step. Only shoot a shot if you feel you're totally in control and no anxiety. It's very important. If you don't feel that, don't shoot. Remember, we want to engrave our confidence. We want to engrave a good shot and not reinforce bad habits. Okay, so here's a shot process I want you to follow. If you just bring your pin around and you just put in the middle and you just shoot the shot, that is not a process. A process is actually when it's slow enough to stay in control and that you can actually give your mind instructions. If you're just shooting when in the middle, you're not giving your mind instruction. Things are just happening automatically. And remember what I told you, your subconscious is then taken over, and your subconscious is not there to make you shoot a bow well. Your subconscious is there to keep you safe. And eventually your subconscious will stab you in the back. It's going to drop you. You need to stay in control consciously. So that's why you need to give your mind instruction. You're just going to look at the target, right? But you're going to focus on your release. You're going to focus to keep in control in the back, right? So you're going to give your mind instruction. As soon as you're floating around there, we call it visual proprioception. It's the same as when you drive on the road. You're not aiming with your thumbs to try and stay on the road. You are physically just looking in the middle. We are looking at what we want to hit. So what is also important is it gives you the opportunity to focus on your release, because that's where the problem is. So you're going to talk to yourself. You're going to say, keep on squeezing, or keep on pulling until the release goes off. If there's any red flag, then lay down. Don't shoot the shot. It's very important to do this, right? Because we are reinforcing good habits. I can't say it enough. So I'm going to do it with you now, just so that we are on the same page. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and draw my bow. Right, so you check your stance, everything. Remember, you're going to shoot good shots. You're going to shoot it like it matters, all right? We're not going to have sloppy discipline. We're going to listen to our minds, and we're going to really give it our best shot here. I'm going to draw my bow. I'm going to reach my anchor. I'm putting the pin in the middle of the target, clicking the release. And I'm going to keep on pulling until the shot goes off. So that was a surprise release. I was in control, and I was just watching that pin move, float, and you accept the movement, and the shot goes off. This is nothing new, guys. This has been taught by a lot of people. I've mentioned them in the other videos. There's a lot of people that shoot this way. Okay, let's do a recap quickly on what we need to do this week. If you feel any problem with your shooting, you're going to lay down. You don't need to shoot that shot. And we're going to do this for a week. And we're going to reinforce good habits. Old habits are in the past. We're not thinking about them. We're only focusing on what we need to do. All right? And if it doesn't go according to plan, you abandon that shot, and you're going to go either back to making the target bigger, take your lens out, shoot less poundage, increase let off, just to give you more time to aim and to slow the movement down. We don't want to rush things here. Shooting is all about timing, but this phase is to slow things down. You need to give your mind time to slow down and to process. And you need to keep track of are you in control or aren't you in control? That's very important. We're going to do this for a week. We're going to give it all we've got. We're going to enjoy it. It's a nice growing phase. This is going to help you a lot when you're under pressure one day. And we'll see you in about a week's time. We're going to do phase 4. I'm looking forward to that, and I bet you too, because that means it's almost over. So we'll see you in about a week's time. Thank you for watching.